right, here we go, guys. Be careful, and action!
Old is a 2021 movie from mystery master M. Night Shyamalan. It's a great what-if story as we follow a happy family on vacation. They go to a remote beach. The kids run off for a bit, and then they return to their parents. But they've aged 7 years in a few minutes. Yeah, that raises some questions. With such an enigmatic plot, the cast couldn't stop reading when they got the script.
It's like an M. Night Shyamalan script, which is a big deal. But my first reaction was just kind of being very intrigued by the premise of the script about time and aging, and like for me it kind of made me think about how I might react in that kind of situation.
It was the most mind-bending, insane experience. It was like I was put myself through a fever dream reading it. So it was very intense, the experience of reading it. But I knew it was Shyamalan, and if I didn't know when I started, you knew by page 5 or 10 that it was his type of movie, and that the writing is just elegant and experimental and special.
The name M. Night Shyamalan has been mentioned a couple of times. In case it doesn't ring a bell, he's the director behind great titles like The Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, Split, and Glass, among many others. This film, Old, is based on the graphic novel Sandcastle by Pierre-Oscar Lefy and Frédéric Péters, which was released about a decade before the cinematic adaptation.
Because it was a graphic novel and it had kind of a very, very open-ended ending, it didn't really have an ending. I felt very much like it was an inspiration for me, rather than devoting to bringing that to the cinema exactly in that way, but more, hey, this is a beautiful concept. What images conjure from that conjure in my head from looking at these drawings that they have. It was I felt very much almost like that it was like a think tank together with me and those authors, that we were mutually telling this story. That's what it felt like to me.
Old was shot in the midst of the COVID pandemic, meaning the cast and crew had to be tested daily. Fortunately for them, no one got infected. It of course helped that they shot on a remote beach and not in a big city. This movie is actually Shyamalan's first since 1992's Praying with Anger not to be shot in Greater Philadelphia, so that was a nice coincidence. The Seashore was filmed in the Dominican Republic, although the biggest perk for the cast wasn't working in a tropical paradise for 2 months, it was working with the iconic director.
He makes great movies. That's the thing. He just makes great movies, and even more importantly, he makes bold movies, and he makes exciting choices, and he's one of the great auteurs of my generation or anybody's generation.
There's something special about his movies that really makes people engage and makes people think about big ideas, big questions, and they are films that people often go back to or refer to, especially in the cinematic world.
While none of the cast or crew members caught COVID, the set did catch something, namely a massive hurricane. You see this giant fake cliff they constructed on the beach? That was destroyed entirely and had to be rebuilt from scratch. But they pulled it off, and M. Night Shyamalan delivered yet another intriguing movie mystery.